Well, he's not your typical Silicon Valley startup founder. Tran grew up in the decade after the end of the Vietnam War, 50 miles southeast of Ho Chi Minh. Now, he's in charge of the popular food delivery service backed by some big-name VCs. It is Brad Stone's latest story in Bloomberg Business Week. Tran, CEO and founder of Munchery, is with us here in the studio now. And you guys actually got a huge response to this story.
I don't know about you, but my inbox is filling up. People really reacted to the story, which, of course, if people have read it, recounts not only Munchery's journey, but your journey leaving Vietnam, basically leaving your parents as an 11-year-old. What kind of feedback did you get?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here, Emily and Brad. And yeah, thank you for the piece, Brad. I mean, basically, the welcoming reception of people reaching out to me, a lot of them are entrepreneurs, but of course also, you know, the minority population, the Vietnamese community, my own parents and their network of friends and colleagues have been very welcoming. They understand some part of the struggle. They can relate to the struggle that they personally have gone through. And then starting up a company is also a challenge of its own, where people recognize, wow, that's pretty incredible of a journey.
It's also such a compelling story right now, given the immigration debate, and obviously you've got people like Mark Zuckerberg on one side pushing for H-1B visas for people like you, and then you have Donald Trump coming out and saying something else.
Yeah. You know, for me, this is the land of opportunity, and it's really true. My parents see it themselves way back when we were kids, and they recognized the future for their own children was not back in Vietnam, so they sent us abroad. And it turns out that hard work does pay off. And I think that's the story that is actually relate to me, and I feel really personal about it.
You've been in this country for almost 30 years now. You've been, you know, in Silicon Valley for many years. Why did you decide, I don't know that I ever asked you this, why did you decide to share the story now? Was it that the immigration debate has become so pointed, so contentious? The experience of many immigrants, particularly Muslims in the United States, they're encountering so much hostility?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes that's forgotten, where people felt, you know, maybe startups in particular were reserved for only the, you know, the selected few and whatnot. I just strongly feel like hard work is more of the fundamental ingredient to make this whole thing work. So sharing that story, I think, would be more genuine than just saying, hey, you know, just work hard.
Do you have any words for Donald Trump?
Not in particular. I mean, I'm not really involved with the political scene, obviously. And to me, it's more along the line of, hey, you know, give people the opportunity, and immigrants like me, a chance to make it work. We contribute to the economy just like anyone else.
Let's talk about the business and
well, I mean,
the rise
to come off your point, though, you did meet with Hillary Clinton, and we talked about the story, and along with some other on-demand startup CEOs, and you guys talked to her about the creation of a new kind of employee, not 1099 contractors, not W-2 employees, but maybe something in the middle. What do you envision that would be good for your business like Munchery and some of the other on-demand startup companies?
So for Munchery right now, we classify all of our delivery team members as employees, right? For us, it's very clear that they are employees. The point that I made with Hillary, along with the other executives and founders of other startups, would be, hey, there may be an opportunity here for companies to have a need for a different kind of classification, where employees get to be a lot more flexible. I mean, right now, instead of going to a clipboard to change your shift, you just do it right on your phone. And that's what we can do with our staff. So I felt like that may be a good alternative, instead of always having only these two existing choices.
So I've used Munchery many times, and you know this.
Thank you.
You know, now Uber Eats, obviously Grubhub, and Seamless, and DoorDash, and Blue Apron, and Sunbasket, and
a lot of choices.
Sprout?
Sprig.
How many of these can there be?
You know, food is a very diverse world. There are a lot of options. People eat a lot of different kind of food. That's the beauty of life, and that allows a lot of different companies to exist. And we all pick and choose our own way, how we serve it best. For Munchery, we decided that, hey, if we prepare the food, or we even have a recent option where you can cook the food in 15 minutes or less, in your own home would be the way that most people would find fitting for their needs. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of room for a lot of us, and you know, to me, that's not the challenge. The primary so-called competition for us is more like people who are used to going to the grocery market and spend a lot of time doing that, spend a lot of time cooking, and then of course they don't have the time left to do whatever they wanted to do.
Well, as a working mom, you have saved me on many nights.
Oh,
so thank you. Tran, CEO and founder of Munchery, thank you so much for joining us and sharing this very personal story. I appreciate it.